Have you ever held a coin and felt like it had a story to tell? Not just a story of trade or transaction, but a tale woven through decades of change, symbolism, and national pride. Well, that's exactly the kind of experience you get when you come across a British 50 new pence coin, especially one from the early days of decimalization. Now picture this, a coin that doesn't just jingle in your pocket but echoes with history. That seven-sided piece of metal isn't just currency, it's a snapshot of a nation redefining its identity. And today, we're going to unravel the incredible story of one such coin, the 50 new pence. Back in the swinging 60s, Britain was buzzing with transformation. From music to fashion to politics, change was in the air. And among all the shifts that shaped the modern UK, one of the most underappreciated revolutions happened right in people's wallets. The United Kingdom was preparing to ditch the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence for a simpler decimal system. This change was no small feat. Imagine trying to tell a whole country that everything they knew about money was about to flip, literally. And right in the heart of that transition, a new coin was born, the 50 new pence. Issued in 1969, this coin wasn't just a new denomination, it was the very symbol of Britain's bold leap into the modern era. For the first time, people saw a coin shaped like no other, a seven-sided polygon with smooth, curved edges. It was sleek, futuristic, and completely unlike the round coins everyone had grown up with. It felt new because it was. But beyond its shape, it was the design that truly captured imaginations. The reverse side bore an iconic image that had deep roots in British history, Britannia. Sitting regally beside a lion, with a trident in one hand and a shield in the other, Britannia was a proud and powerful figure. She represented strength, stability, and sovereignty, values that the UK wanted to project as it entered a new financial era. But who was behind this powerful imagery? The man responsible for the design was none other than Christopher Ironside, a talented artist and sculptor. His vision was simple yet profound. He wanted to create something timeless, something that spoke of Britain's enduring legacy while embracing the future. And he did just that. Ironside's Britannia became one of the most recognizable images on British coinage. It's no exaggeration to say that for many Britons, especially those who grew up in the 70s and 80s, the image of Britannia on the 50p is forever etched in memory. Now let's talk about what made this coin special to collectors. First, there's the inscription. Coins minted from 1969 to 1981 bore the words, "New Pence." That might seem like a small detail, but for collectors, it's huge. You see, in 1982, the Royal Mint dropped the word "new," and the coins from that point onward simply read 50 pence. That subtle change created a clear line in the sand for numismatists. Coins from the new pence era became a category of their own, a distinct chapter in British coin history. And among those, some years stand out more than others. Take the 1969 issue, for instance. This was the very first 50 new pence coin ever minted. If you have one in mint condition, you might be holding on to a small treasure. Then there's the 1973 edition, issued to mark Britain's entry into the European Economic Community. That one is especially sought after because it was only released in special collector sets and never circulated. So, if you stumble upon one of those, you've hit the jackpot. Even the common dates have stories. The simple fact that a coin says, "New Pence," tells you it's over 40 years old, older than many people who use it. That alone adds a touch of magic. Now let's talk rarity and value. You might be wondering, is my old 50p coin worth anything? Well, the answer is, it depends. If your coin is heavily circulated, with scratches, worn edges, and dullness, it might only be worth its face value. But if you have a pristine version, especially one from a low mintage year, its value could jump significantly. Some uncirculated or proof versions have been known to fetch anywhere from £10 to £50, depending on condition and demand. And remember, for collectors, it's not just about the coin, it's about the story behind it. That emotional connection adds value that goes beyond money. Another reason these coins are so beloved is the nostalgia factor. For many people, the 50 new pence brings back memories of childhood, pocket money, and trips to the sweet shop. It represents a time when the world felt simpler. And when something as small as a coin can evoke such powerful emotions, it becomes more than just metal, it becomes a memory. That's why coin collecting is such a cherished hobby. It's not about hoarding wealth, it's about preserving history. But let's not forget the practical brilliance of the coin's design. That unique seven-sided shape? It wasn't just for looks. It was a stroke of engineering genius. The shape is called an equilateral curve heptagon, which means all its sides are equal, and it can roll in vending machines just like a round coin. That was crucial in the 70s and 80s, when vending machines were becoming more common. The Royal Mint needed a coin that was easy to recognize, hard to counterfeit, and simple to process mechanically. And the 50p fit the bill perfectly. As years went by and the UK continued to evolve, the 50p coin changed with it. New designs were introduced to commemorate events, honor heroes, and celebrate milestones. But through all those changes, the early 50 new pence coins remained a fan favorite. They remind us of a turning point in British history, a moment when the country chose progress while honoring its past. Even today, collectors search through jars of old coins, hoping to find that elusive new pence inscription. For some, it's about completing a collection. For others, it's about reliving a memory. And for a lucky few, it's about discovering a piece that's worth a surprising amount of money. Either way, the hunt is half the fun. And that's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what treasure you might find. And what about the future? Will these coins continue to gain value? Most experts agree that early decimal coins like the 50 new pence will become more sought after as time goes on. As fewer of them remain in circulation and more people take an interest in numismatics, demand is likely to rise. That's why now is a great time to dig through your drawers, check your piggy banks, and take a closer look at your change. You never know, you might be sitting on a small fortune. So next time you come across a 50p coin, especially one that says, new pence, don't just toss it aside. Hold it, study it, and appreciate it. Because that little coin carries with it the weight of history, the brilliance of design, and the spirit of a nation in transition. And if that's not worth a second look, I don't know what is. Now, I've got to ask, have you ever found an old new pence coin? Maybe tucked away in a forgotten wallet, or mixed in with your everyday change.